Welcome to the final game of pool play here in the 2026 Filipino World Series. It's Southern California, Northern California. First pitch already underway. Will Lewin joined alongside Violet Gallegos here in the broadcast booth of College of the Canyons. Beautiful day for baseball here on a Friday in August as that pitch finds the zone for a strike, evens the count up at 1-1 here. That pitch swung on and missed, it looked like. The 2-2 swung on over towards the left side of the field. It gets by a diving third baseman for Team NorCal. Looks to be Varay Santos trying to get under that one. Isn't able to do so. And SoCal with a runner on quickly. So, Violet Gallegos, your first time calling a Filipino World Series game. This is your second day coming to the tournament. What's kind of been the vibe for you so far? What are the things you've enjoyed about the tournament so far?
I would say it's a good day to be Filipino. Yeah.
Absolutely, very well put. Yeah, the Filipino World Series, obviously in motion to celebrate not only Filipinos around the world, but these Filipino baseball athletes, especially from the greater United States area. As the next pitch finds the strike zone. That pitch right back up the middle. Great catch by the pitcher, and the throw over to first. Catches the runner sleeping. What a play there by the starting pitcher for Northern California. A line drive double play. He's able to snag the comebacker right off the bat. And they're two away here in the top of the first inning. It looked as though Southern California was in prime position to really get the scoring going early there. Their first hitter is able to get on base. But now a line drive double play. They're quickly two down here in the top of the first inning. A lot of hype, a lot of anticipation building up for this one. As the pitch swung on towards the shortstop, he fields it on the ground. The throw over to first, an absolute laser to record the final out of the inning. So one way or another, Northern California do go 1, 2, 3 through that order. And we'll send it to the bottom of the first. SoCal due up next.
My name's Chris Yap, graduating class of 2027 from Hart High School, and you're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
Back here in the bottom of the first inning between Northern California and Southern California, we finally got some lineups for you here. This is Nicodemus Abad hitting first for Team NorCal. He'll be followed up by Mateo Aranza Mendez and Mateo Batacan in the 3 spot. Reggie Fong batting cleanup. Royce Hall in the 5 spot. Dylan Hernandez batting 6th as the first pitch to Abad is outside. Then Alex Hakale and the Listener brothers, Logan, then Lucius, round out the 7, 8, 9 spots for this NorCal lineup. On the bump here is Joaquin Happy Ramirez. That pitch swung on and missed. Big swing there from Abad. Not able to find anything. Out in the field here for Team NorCal. Behind the dish, J.D. Lawless. Over at first base, I believe, is Finn Quimbao. Second baseman today will be Nolan Hoff. Shortstop is Matthew Chavez. Ronan Turner over at third. From left to right in the outfield, you've got Julian Antolin, Makai Ma, and RJ Estrada. So Abad will start his day with a walk there. And now it brings up the 2-hitter for Team NorCal. This is Alex Hakale. Alex Hakale and the Hakale brothers have made a name for themselves here in the Filipino World Series. Left-handed pitcher Ramirez come set the pitch way outside for a ball. 1-0 the count here. I've got Violet Gallegos beside me, and she beautifully put it in the last inning that it's a very good day to be Filipino. As that ball is going to hit Hakale, eats that one up, and now to bring up Royce Hall. So you said that your brother played baseball, so you've been around the game for quite a while. Is there a certain element that kind of has your calling more than anything else in baseball?
Um, I mean, I think he actually played for the Filipino World Series, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah, but he's a left-handed pitcher, so definitely the pitcher here
okay,
reminds me of him, feeling very nostalgic.
got you. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, Joaquin Ramirez up on the bump here for Team SoCal as that pitch inside and low for a ball. Now, Violet, we just wrapped up what was a 32-4 game
Oh yeah.
against between Team Mid-Atlantic and Team Canada. We're obviously looking at this game being a lot closer. Team NorCal are the reigning champs of the 2026 Filipino World Series, and the team they beat is the one on the field right now, Team SoCal. As that pitch driven deep into right center field, back it goes, and it will one-hop the wall. Both runners running around third. The throw into the infield will stop the final runner at third. This throw into home plate is not in time, and NorCal on the board first. Royce Hall, the starting pitcher for Northern California, doing it on both sides of the field for the team in all purple. Base hit, RBI double. And now it'll bring up the four-hitter Gabriel Morales. So the big thing that I like to ask non-baseball goers is, do you think that you could hit a baseball?
Oh, definitely not.
I mean, you said that your brother was a pitcher. Was there ever a time that your brother was either like playing catch with you, or you might have taken a couple of at bats against him? What was the family dynamic there?
Definitely not at bats, but we would play catch, and I did enjoy that. I used to play softball, but I would always get hit by the pitch, so then I got really scared after that, and
No,
I
that's
never
understandable.
went back.
That's understandable.
Yeah, but it's always fun to watch baseball.
Yeah, and speaking of softball, we had the celebrity softball game yesterday, which you
Oh,
were in
yeah.
attendance for.
That was great. We had guava juice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of prolific Filipino celebrities, actresses, even chefs and nurses coming up to the game. It really was a sight to behold, not to mention the outstanding vendors that we had and the market style atmosphere that was going on at Birmingham High School last night. A lot of Filipino food. You could smell the lechon and lupia in the distance.
Yes.
That pitch taken for a strike here on Morales. So yeah, a highly anticipated matchup here. And so far, we've gotten all the excitement that we expected as that ball is in the dirt. And Morales will get a free base. Here's Amado Vare Santos coming up for the first time today. Vare Santos had that diving effort in the top half of the inning to try and record it out as that ball is lifted high and deep into left center field. Back it goes, and it's also going to two-hop the wall this time. Runners advancing from first and second. The runner from second is going to try and take off. He slips on the way to home plate. Now they're running down from Turner. He slips under the tag, but the umpire's got him on the baseline. Smart move from Vare Santos there to slide in cleanly at third base. Advance another 90 feet as he saw his base runner in front of him was easily going to get tagged out. So a run does score. First out of the inning is recorded for the Southern California team. It'll go down as an RBI double for Vare Santos. He advances to third base on the fielder's choice. And now it'll bring up Logan Listner starting first baseman for Team Northern California today. Runner 90 feet away from him. That pitch inside nearly hits listener. He'll start the count 1-0. But yeah, as you can see, Vi, the thing that Henry Harrison and I always like to talk about is just how versatile these Filipino athletes are. And I'm not sure if, when your brother wasn't pitching, he was maybe playing one of the regular fielding spots like an infielder or an outfielder. But the explosiveness of their bats early in the game has been the consistent tale of every Filipino World Series game we've ever covered. Is that something that you've kind of come across watching your brother play as well?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Filipinos are really fast.
Yeah, oh no, 100%.
Yeah, so he would always be in the outfield and he would be catching balls like really far away from him.
So an outfielder pitcher, the brother
Yes.
to Violet Gallegos. We'll have to go to the vault to see if there's a Gallegos on record that was obviously pitching and playing outfield for the Philippines baseball group.
Yeah.
That pitch finds the zone, strike three. Listener caught looking on the strike. First strikeout of the day for Ramirez. And the second out of the inning is finally recorded right on the back end of that pickle play between third and home. This will now bring up Ryder Seriosa, another big name of Filipino World Series lore. We've got a lot of returning guys, Violet, that are always making an impact and always making a name for themselves. And especially with this NorCal-SoCal rivalry that is reinvented and revamped each and every single year. We've got new players coming in. We've got old players coming in with that have really honed in their craft. So again, it's been very exciting so far. NorCal have 3 on the board now. And they've got a chance to tack on a couple more here. Runner 90 feet away from Ryder Seriosa at the plate. Ramirez's pitch, off speed, finds the upper part of the zone. Beautiful looping curveball there. It's now 1-2. Here's Ramirez's pitch. Outside for a ball that'll even the count at 2-2. Ramirez comes set. His 2-2. Swung on, fouled. Great job there by Seriosa. So what's kind of the big thing that you would like to see in this game, whether it be a home run or someone hitting a certain amount of getting a certain amount of base hits? What's kind of your goal for this game that you'd really like to see walk away home happy with?
Um I kind of just want to see an interesting game, a close game. Um Last game it was really hot out, the energy was low, and it was not a close game. So I'm hoping for the opposite for this game, especially with all the hype surrounding it.
Well, so far, Violet, through an innings of work, NorCal are definitely doing a job making this game as exciting as possible for you. It's a 3-0 ball game as we head to the top of the second inning.
My name is Daniel Romero, graduating class of 2028 from Pittsburgh High School. You're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
We've got a good one here, folks, between Team SoCal and Team NorCal. NorCal able to get on the board early, scoring 3 runs at the bottom of the first inning. This is now one of the Turner bros leading things off here. It's Ronan. Here in the forward spot for Team SoCal, he takes the first pitch outside. We didn't have a chance to go through the lineup. We were kind of bang to start off the game. But Kai Ma's leading things off for Team SoCal with Julian Antolin and J.D. Lawless following him in the 2 and 3 spots. As that pitch is swung on, it'll be a 2-hopper to the catcher. He has a hard time handling. The throw to first is in time. Catcher for NorCal, Ryder Seriosa, keeping his cool on that one, able to record the first out of the inning. That was Ronan Turner there. This is now Matthew Chavez stepping up to the plate. He'll be followed by R.J. Estrada, Joaquin Ramirez, the starting pitcher, Finn Quimbao in the 8 spot, and then Nolan Hoff closing things out in the 9 spot. Pitching for Northern California is Royce Hall, as that pitch in for a strike on Chavez. He's got Ryder Seriosa behind the dish, Logan Listener at first, Reggie Fong at second, then Daniel Romero at short, and Amato Vray Santos at third as that pitch is fouled off. In the outfield from left to right, Gabriel Mediales, Alex Hicale, and Dylan Hernandez. So all 9 positions batting for Team NorCal and Team SoCal. A classic high school matchup here. So 1-1 count. That pitch taken outside and low for a ball, 2-1. So typically for a kind of college level lineup, you'll have your pitcher be replaced by what's known as a designated hitter. But in high school, because all these guys want to get at bats, as that ball is drilled to center field, it'll be an easy play for the center fielder, Alex Hicale, to record the second out of the inning. And it brings up RJ Estrada, the right fielder. So you have a designated hitter that'll come in and essentially hit for your pitcher, because you don't want your pitcher to get injured. Once you're in college and you kind of solidify yourself as a pitcher, that's all you do. They call them POs, or pitchers only.
I see.
There's a big argument going around as to whether or not POs are athletes, because all they do is just throw a ball. So it's very questionable whether or not they are indeed athletes like the rest of the fielding defense. First pitch to Estrada, called a strike on the outside part of the zone. Seems as though we've got a new officiating crew here compared to the one we just had for the Mid-Atlantic and Canada game, as that pitch again finding the outside part of the zone for another strike. 0-2 the count.
So you were asking me what I was hoping to see this game, but what are you hoping to see?
I mean, you kind of nailed it on the head there, Violet. I just want the exciting, highly anticipated matchup that everyone here knows that they're going to get. Again, Team NorCal and Team SoCal are probably, when looking at their lineups, are arguably 2 of the best teams in the entire organization. And the fact that we can get this matchup in pool play and not have to wait till the semifinal game or the championship game in order to see these teams face off against one another really is just an extraordinary thing this year. I am very glad that they have put SoCal and NorCal in the same group pool, as that ball is lifted into shallow right field. First baseman, second baseman, and right fielder all trying to crash in on it. It'll be the second baseman on a knee, Reggie Fong, able to pick that one out of the ground. And the third out recorded for Team NorCal. So SoCal have had 6 batters up, all of them retired, as NorCal makes their way back into the dugout, looking to put more runs on the board in the bottom of the second.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Respicio, graduating class of 2027 from Etijuana High School. You're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
Bottom of the second inning here, coming at you live from College of the Canyons. Live, I say, this is a recorded upload of the Filipino World Series in the Big 2-6. We've got NorCal taking on Southern California. NorCal finds themselves up with a 3-0 lead. Have gone 1-2-3 in their first 2 times up defensively, as the first pitch to the hitter, I believe this is Reggie Fong, is fouled. It is Reggie Fong. Starting second baseman for Team NorCal. Again, NorCal in the purple uniforms that they've kind of made traditional for themselves. Had one of the NorCal teams in purple last year, the other in yellow. And then again, SoCal always repping some sort of blue. We've got another Southern California team. In Team Los Angeles, they've got baby blue jerseys. So that ball's going to skip away from the catcher for a ball. So we've already mentioned earlier today the Mid-Atlantic Canada game that ended up being 32-4. Canada finished 2-1 in the tournament, as Mid-Atlantic drop all 3 games. That ball hit over towards the first baseman. Beautiful pick on a hop, and the throw gets by Ramirez. Catcher wasn't there to back it up, and the runner, Fong, will advance another 90 feet on the errant throw from the first baseman of Team SoCal. So Mid-Atlantic, one of the new chapters, one of two new chapters, not able to pick up their first win in a Filipino World Series. The other new chapter introduced to this year's World Series, Midwest, they too did not get a win in this year's World Series. They dropped their last game today against Team All-States. Coach Chris Murphy and his dominant Team All-States took it 21-9. So two blowouts to start off the Friday games. Moves all states to undefeated. The first time all states have been undefeated in a Filipino World Series. And now the other game going on at the same time as this one is Los Angeles versus Hawaii. We'll be waiting to hear some updates regarding that game, as that ball is going to get by the catcher for SoCal. Dylan Hernandez hitting. Finds himself way ahead in the count here. Reggie Fong already all the way at third base. So you've missed some pretty electric years in the past when it comes to the Filipino World Series. We've got a new kind of format in order to introduce our new chapters, as that pitch is swung on and missed by Hernandez. We last year had 3 Southern California teams and 2 Northern California teams, so that's 5. And then we had our Hawaii team, our Canada team, and our All-States team. Obviously, PBG saw the heavy California influence as that ball is going to skip by the SoCal catcher. That's Quinn Bao doing a job for SoCal today. Isn't able to get that one, and the run comes across. It's the 4th of the game and the 4th for Team NorCal. They now lead it 4-0 here. SoCal looking for their first out of the inning. But yeah, the organization saw that there was too much of a California presence.
Yeah.
So they really wanted to split that up. And in this last year, they've opened up the Midwest chapter and the Mid-Atlantic chapter, which you saw earlier today. And they've been bringing in guys from the greater Chicago area, that Midwest team. And in the Mid-Atlantic, you see a lot of guys from Maryland, Washington, D.C., all over the East Coast. As a quick mound visit between pitcher and catcher before Ramirez will go through the NorCal order for his second time. This is Daniel Romero, the one-hitter. So some exciting stuff has happened in the last year for the Philippines baseball group, and they're obviously looking to grow on that next year. Obviously, we've been dialed in on this 18 format for what I believe is at least the last 3 years. It could be 4. But obviously opening up those new chapters in new regions is the overall goal for the Philippines baseball group, just so that we can make the World Series just a little bit bigger with a farther reach. That pitch fouled off.
So did they condense the multiple NorCal teams and the multiple SoCal teams?
Essentially. So
Okay.
what was going on is you would essentially have like 10 to 12 guys on a given SoCal and NorCal team.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But this year, the NorCal team, as the runner is going to take off from first base, sliding in head first. A great jump there from Hernandez over on first, and an incredible slide. Dylan Hernandez with the slide. Almost looked like he slid halfway from first to second in order to get in safely. Just glided across the dirt there into second, and now in scoring position for Romero. He's 0 for 0 on the day. He walked his first time up. Came in to score, though, as that pitch inside, he's able to get out of the way of it. But, yeah, going back to NorCal and SoCal. So, last year they had 2 NorCal teams that averaged around 11 guys. This year they've got 1 NorCal team that's got 17 guys on it.
Oh,
So they've just basically combined the 2 teams. Obviously, you've got some guys who graduate from the program because they're not in high school anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have the Futures program, which allows the younger guys who are coming into high school to get their reps at the high school level before actually being in high school yet. Runner fakes like he's taking off, and it'll be a walk for Romero, his second of the day in 2 at-bats. Now Alex Hikawe also looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 0. Runners on first and second for him. Now on the SoCal part, they weren't able to disband all the teams entirely. Obviously, having 3 teams, same thing. You're averaging around 11 to 12 guys per team. Bunt is shown. Both runners are going to take off. The throw to third is not in time. Looked as though his Quim Bao was a little hesitant there behind the dish, not sure if he should throw it or not. Eventually does. Turner's able to pick it up, not putting a tag down. So it will technically go down as a stolen base as the throw was made there from Quim Bao behind the dish. As the next pitch from Ramirez finds the inside part of the zone for a strike. So you have the three NorCal teams averaging 12 guys. Obviously, you do the math. That's close to, at least 30 guys on a team. So what they've done this year is they've split SoCal into the Southern California team that you're seeing now and Team Los Angeles.
Oh,
So
okay.
Philippines Baseball Group originated in Los Angeles. Bill Pickett's and his family coming from the greater LA area as the head coach of Los Angeles Pierce College. They started the organization here, and so naturally their first audience and their biggest audience were the Filipinos of LA.
Mhm.
So they looked at their rosters and they said, hey, we could essentially just make a team of guys that are just from LA and then make a team of guys who are from Southern California. We've got a couple of guys down in Orange County area, closer to like Anaheim and stuff like that. Obviously a long trick for them as the Northern California coach is going to step out, or excuse me, the Southern California coach is going to step out and have a word with his pitcher. After that walk to Hikale, sets up a bases loaded, no out opportunity here for Northern California. So yeah, there have been a lot of moving pieces in the last year, particularly, and we've come to this point now where yes, there is more of a Southern California influence than any other team, but they've gone down from 3 teams to just the 2.
Mhm.
Northern California now only have 1 team, and now we've got 2 brand new chapters who have made their way onto the scene for the for future Filipino World Series, not just this one,
Yes.
but future ones as well. And again, Henry and I have talked about how exciting it is to see all the new faces. You being one of those new faces,
Yes.
and your introductory to the production team for the Philippines baseball group.
It's nice to see that this is expanding though, because I don't remember too much from my brother's time, but I remember it was pretty small.
Home plate umpires got that one hitting the arm of Hikale. And it seems as though Hikale knows that he's going to be subbed out here. And a pinch runner is coming in for him. He touches first, and now he's legally allowed to leave the bag to get substituted. Let's see who the one coming in for him is. We'll catch a number as he's running around home plate. That is number 2 for Northern California. That's Crispy Vere Santos, brother to Amato. So Royce Hall able to get on base, gets substituted out as that ball is lifted foul. 0-1 the count here to Gabriel Mediales. That pitch low and inside for a ball. One of the parents for Philippines SoCal excited about grabbing that foul ball, hands it over to Chris Yap. Is that Mr. Ma? Mr. Yap? Yap to Yap? Yap to Yap on the foul ball. He's hyped up. He's excited. We're getting the fans engaged here. We love it. Joaquin Ramirez coming in, gets his pitch in the dirt for a ball. But no, the growth really has been fantastic to see, Violet. You're absolutely right. And it's just been such an experience for me over these last 3 years just to see that growth in full effect. And you're absolutely right. Once upon a time, there weren't that many Filipino baseball players a part of our organization, but the more we've grown, the more attention we've got, and the more parents and players are interested for not only playing ball for a different team in a different part of the world, as that pitch is taking for a ball and a walk from Mediales as Vray Santos will step up to the plate. It brings in a run. It's now a 6-0 ball game as 3 runs have come across this inning as well as the last. But yeah, coming from 2021 at the banquet, the director for the organization, Bill Pickett's, made a note that the first year that the World Series was held, their banquet was essentially held in a tiny room, a classroom at Pierce College.
Oh, wow.
And now it's expanded to where our banquet is being held at this grand hall as that ball is hit up the middle, the throw to second in time, and at first in time as well. Double play there from SoCal. Bang, bang there for the middle of the infield. And there are quickly 2 down here. A run comes across to score. The runner from second will advance to third. So it's 7-0 here for Team NorCal. And keep in mind, this is 7 runs on only 2 hits. A lot of free bases issued up here from SoCal. The next hitter, Listener, sends that one foul. But yeah, our banquet this year was very Harry Potter-esque. You familiar with Harry Potter?
Yes.
You know the Great Hall where where Dumbledore is in the front. You know, at the beginning of every school year, they gather and have like a great feast and all that kind of stuff. It was very much like that at the banquet this year. These long rows of tables that literally went from wall to wall, and then a stage at the very front. To think that we're at that point now, and once upon a time there were only 40 people in a classroom. So it really has been such a beautiful thing to see grow over time.
And you presented at the banquet, right?
I did, yeah.
How was that?
I mean, it's definitely it's a little. It can be scary at times. You know, I'm obviously not a Filipino myself, so trying to hone into the culture and the overall mindset that Filipinos continue to always bring with them, that passion, that fiery energy, to try and match that level is always a tall ask. But I thought at the banquet I did well. Obviously said my piece, let them know what the deal was for the quote unquote live streams. Unfortunately, because we're at these multiple venues, we're recording these games and then uploading them a little bit later. But tomorrow, the championship day, we're looking to stream those games at CSUN. A little bit better internet connection there as that ball is dribbled over towards the second baseman. Picks it up cleanly and throws it over to first to record the final out of the inning. Team NorCal able to put 4 more up on the board. SoCal, in the blink of an eye, find themselves down by 7 as we head to the top of the 3rd inning.
My name is Dylan Hernandez, graduating class of 2027 from Doherty Valley High School, and you're watching the Filipino World Series 2026.
You're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series. Last game of pool play between Team NorCal and Team SoCal here at College of the Canyons. NorCal ahead early, 7-0 here in the top of the 3rd inning. That first pitch is going to get away from the catcher, Seriosa. It's still Royce Hall out on the mound as Joaquin Ramirez steps up to the plate here. Now I made the mistake earlier thinking that Joaquin Ramirez was pitching. It's actually Jake Wilson that's pitching, and the designated hitter is J.D. Lawless. So not only did I mistake Joaquin Ramirez for batting, but I also said that both of these teams were all 9 positions were hitting, and that is not the case. They've got a designated hitter as that ball is blasted, lifted deep to right field. It is off the wall. Joaquin Ramirez got cocky with it, and now he's going to get thrown out at second base. I don't believe it. Joaquin Ramirez thought that ball was gone. He was pimping it down the first base line, walking casually towards first. It hits off of the top of the wall. A great throw there from the right fielder for Team NorCal. Hernandez A laser to second base, and Ramirez's glory cut short on the base paths.
He's smiling as he walks away.
It's what you love to see. That's something that they call a rookie moment there. You hit a ball so far you think it's gone, so you pimp it out, you're walking down the line, bat flipping, whatever it may be. And then it's that sense of fear and frustration as it hits the wall or doesn't quite get all the way. And now you're racing to grab the bag that you should have respectfully been on had you just taken your hard 90, which Philippines baseball is all about. Mrs. Ma loves that from the broadcaster's booth. A great environment here at College of the Canyons. Mrs. Ma has been one of the prolific supporters as that ball is hit into shallow center field. Second baseman comes in to recover the error from the center fielder there. That's Alex Hikale, giving his second baseman Reggie Fong a hug behind the back because he knew that his first couple of steps were in the wrong direction and he wasn't going to be able to get there in time. So 2 outs here.
Hoping for some runs from SoCal.
Yeah, are you going to be jumping on the SoCal ship now? Obviously, you're from Southern California. That ball chopped towards the third baseman, Veray Santos, to throw across the diamond in time. What a throw! Amado Veray Santos picks that ball up with ease. And it's another 1-2-3 inning from Northern California. We'll see them hit in the bottom of the third inning.
This is Julian Antolin, class of 2027 from Taft High School, and you're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
Bottom of the third inning coming your way here between Team SoCal and Team NorCal. NorCal hanging on to a 7-run lead. Looking to go 3 consecutive innings, scoring at least 1 run. They were able to get 3 in the first and another 4 in the second. And now here they are in the third. Pitching substitution here as I finally recovered from my blunder saying that Joaquin Ramirez was pitching when it was actually Jake Wilson. He's been taken out of the game. Oh, and it breaks the camera. Oh my goodness, not our camera because I like to keep my equipment out of the way of the play. But a camera has just been hit directly on the lens. As someone in production, Violet, I'm sure that you can attest to this. Seeing any sort of camera equipment hit just it sends a shiver down your spine.
And he just put it right back up.
Right back up. He's got some hardy equipment there, apparently. That pitch, high for a ball. It'll even up the count at 1-1. This is Ryder Seriosa leading things off. So as I was saying, Jake Wilson taken out of the game. 2 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned, 6 walks, 2 strikeouts. He's got James Turner stepping up here in relief, only in the third inning. Something did need to change here for Southern California. Couldn't quite figure out the pitching side of things. Jake Wilson did have some moments in those first 2 innings where it really felt like things were coming together, and then there would be the free base or a bloop single. But I mean, the bats, especially for Team SoCal, I'm sure, Violet, you can attest to this. They just haven't been able to get anything going on the offensive side of things. So much so that anytime that they've had a base runner on, they've immediately gotten out on the base paths.
Still hoping for a comeback.
Yeah. As the 2 SoCal representatives here.
Yes.
Henry Harrison wanted to hop off of this call as to not be bad luck towards his team, and I can't lie, it's really working out for him right now. 7-0 ball game here in the bottom of the third. That was a walk issued by Turner to the leadoff hitter, Seriosa, and it brings up Reggie Fong, who's 0 for 1 on the day so far. He reached on an error. Runner's going to take off from first base. Here's the throw down from the catcher. It's beautiful. Couldn't have been more perfect than that. Take a bow. Finn Quimbao couldn't have placed that ball any more perfectly, and it's a first out of the inning recorded by SoCal. The fans in attendance here Loved seeing that, and now the base is empty here for Team SoCal. Reggie Fong's got some work to do. That pitch inside. Quinn Bao not able to pick it out of the dirt. It'll be a 2-0 count here. So there you go, Violet. A caught stealing. Don't see too many of those, especially because you said that these Filipino players are so fast, but apparently Serioso wasn't fast enough for the arm of Quinn Bao as that ball trickles to the shortstop. The throw over to first is going to get by the first baseman. Not sure about that decision from Matthew Chavez, playing short for SoCal. He definitely had a good beat on it, but the throw over to first base wouldn't have beat him. It'll go down as a base hit, and then he advances on the error from the shortstop. So it's a base hit and advance on the error is the official scoring for that. Is that pitch low for a ball on Dylan Hernandez? Dylan Hernandez, first time up, got a free base. Here's Turner's pitch, way up high.
Any standout players so far for either team?
Runner is going to take off, Violet. I think the big standout player so far for me today, I mean, Amato Vare Santos has had himself a game so far. He's only had 2 at-bats. He's got 2 RBIs on 1 hit. Again, there's not really anything to write home about for SoCal. They've only got 1 hit this game, and he was immediately thrown out at second base as that is a frozen rope to left field off the bat of Hernandez. Great piece of hitting there by him. And it'll now bring up the top of the order here with Daniel Romero. So NorCal going through their 3rd time up. Royce Hall, probably one of the names that's standing out right now because not only is he doing a phenomenal job hitting, but up on the mound, he's doing a great job as well. Through 3 innings, he's only allowed 2 hits, no runs, no earned runs. So Royce Hall kind of emanating that Shohei Ohtani-like style of play in baseball, doing the pitching and the hitting for Team NorCal. Is that pitch low in the zone, called a strike. This is Romero starting 0 for 1 in his at-bat. Pickoff attempt at first going to be unsuccessful. Daniel Romero, hailing from Antioch, California, representative of Pittsburgh High School, would love to be a Rebel at the University of Mississippi, or Ole Miss as fanatics call them. Another throw to second base. Finn Quinn Bao. No, it came out of his glove. They're going to call it safe. I thought he may have held onto it for just long enough, but the ball just creeps out of what looked to be the second baseman's glove there. That's Nolan Hoff. If it wasn't him, it might have been Matthew Chavez. But Finn Quinn Bao this inning has had 2 exceptional throwdowns to second base. Runner in scoring position. That ball is going to go behind Romero. It'll advance the runner to third. And it'll be a 1-1 count here. On Daniel Romero. Turner comes set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, lifted into shallow left field, down for a base hit. In comes a run for Team NorCal. It's 2 this inning, and they extend their lead to 9. Daniel Romero's first RBI, first base hit of the game. as now Alex Hikale will step up to the dish here for Team NorCal. Hikale looking for his first base hit of the day. He walked earlier this game. He's come across twice, though.
Something's in the air today. We've been having very large leads.
Yeah. Yeah, down 9 runs is probably not where SoCal wanted to be 3 innings into this game, but I'm telling you, Violet, you'll see a 9-run deficit like this and think, okay, bring the subs out, game's over, just, try and conserve the guys who are out there. But again, these Filipino athletes, like we've been talking about, will always muster up a way to try and come back. That pitch to Hikale is low and outside for a ball. Only one down here. Double play is in order for Team SoCal. So far, it's just been Quimbao behind the dish to record the out. Get a caught stealing in the scorebook as that's going to bounce way in front of home plate. It looked as though it actually deflected off of the home plate umpire's chest. More of a cricket pitch than anything else. As the runner will advance from first to second. That's Daniel Romero out there now in scoring position. Alex Hikale with an opportunity to finally put a number up on the stat sheet. Here's the pitch from Turner. That pitch swung on a high chopper towards the second baseman. Takes his time fielding it, and the throw is not in time. Nolan Hoff really allowed that ball to come to him on a high chopper like that. It gave Hikale the opportunity to just bolt down the third base line. And a guy like Joaquin Ramirez standing on first with him might want to take some notes on that hard 90. Here's Royce Hall. The runner's going to take off from first. Fake throw. It'll go down as a defensive indifference. Stolen base looming large there for Alex Hikale. He was trying to pick it up there, but Finn Quimbao is wiser than that on that play. Doesn't want the run to score from third, but it will be 2 runners in scoring position here for Hall. That pitch is going to hit him. Couldn't get out of the way of that one even if he wanted to. And now the bases are juiced here for Gabriel Morales. NorCal coach going to have a quick word with Morales before he steps up to the plate. There's going to be a pinch runner here for Royce Hall. So Royce Hall, the starting pitcher here for NorCal. Smart moves here by the Northern California team. It's almost as if the head coach doesn't want his guy to get on base, to just kind of keep him in the dugout and keep him nice and rested. But because he's such a good hitter, he just keeps finding his way on base. It'll be number 3 over there at first. The first pitch to Mediales is outside for a ball. So that's Matthew Paderna over at first now. That ball gets by the catcher, Quimbao. 1 run will come in to score. The other runners advance. It's now 3 runs this inning for Team NorCal. They've got a 10-run lead here in the 3rd inning. And now, Violet, the question for Team SoCal is what can they do to try and get back in this game? If you're the coach of Team SoCal, what are you telling your players? How do you hype them up to get them back in this game?
Well, it looks like Team NorCal is just stealing bases whenever they can, and getting into the third base position. So finally, when someone hits it, they can go to home. So maybe SoCal can do that a little bit if they can, if they have some fast runners.
Yeah, there's been a lot of walks issued to this NorCal team. Again, you look at the stat sheet as that ball is lifted high into center field. The center fielder tracking it down makes the catch. The throw into the infield prevents the runner from second from scoring, but the runner from third is there safely. So Paderna now finds himself all the way over at third after coming in for Royce Hall. And this is now Amado Vare Santos coming in to hit. He takes a look over at the bleachers and has a little smile for either the parents or us up here at the broadcaster's booth. I don't mind a little bit of love every now and then. He's 1 for 2 on the day so far. He's gone 2 RBIs in on that one base hit that he got. That pitch finds the outside part of the zone for a strike. But yeah, the 3 bases has really been kind of the big difference for Team SoCal so far. A lot of walks, and like you said, they're able to get their way over to third base so that when those hits are had for Team NorCal, they're just having to run 90 feet as that ball gets over to the shortstop. The throw is on a dime, but not in time. Paderna comes in to score. It's an RBI single for Amado Vare Santos, able to get that ball in the deeper part of the infield between the 5 and 6 position players. And now it brings up Logan Listener. Logan Listener looking for his first bit of success on the day. 0 for 2 with a strikeout coming into this at-bat. Turner, the pitcher, still trying to get his team back in the dugout here. He's been 1 pitch away for quite a while now. Turner takes a look over at first base. Vare Santos not going anywhere. Here's the pitch to Listener. It goes right to Ramirez, the first baseman, and he will tap on the first base bag easily to record the final out of the inning. So another multi-run scoring inning for Team NorCal. They've essentially gone in chronological order here. 3 runs in the first, 4 in the second, and 5 in the third. That gives them a 12-0 lead as we head into the top of the 4th inning.
Hi, my name is Ryder Shayosa, graduating class of 2026 from Cal State Fullerton, and you're watching the Filipino World Series.
3 innings in the books here between Team NorCal and Team SoCal. SoCal in an unfavorable position, find themselves down 12 runs here through 3 innings. These 12 runs for Team NorCal have come on only 7 hits. Will Lewin being joined alongside Violet Gallegos here at the makeshift broadcast booth here at a beautiful College of the Canyons. Shadows getting ever so longer here as the home plate umpire looks like he's going to be taking the shades off this inning. Not in the sun anymore, so doesn't need them. Hasn't even faced the sun at all today. Is more of a fashion statement than anything, I think.
Have you seen many games with this large of a lead result in a comeback?
I'll be honest, no. But if there were to be a team to come back down 12 runs, it's Team SoCal. They've got some amazing players on their lineup, including the one batting now, Makai Ma.
I'm really hoping the gap doesn't just get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean, again, Northern California have scored every inning so far as Makai swings and misses at that one. I should have known it was Makai. His mother is down by the fence recording this at-bat. I was wondering why I couldn't hear a loud voice up here anymore. That pitch swung on over towards the other way. Gets to the third baseman. Makai trying to beat it out. The throw is not there. He's running around first, trying to dig in for second. There won't be a throw there. The catcher was there to back it up, but he couldn't even back up that errand of a throw. Makai Ma will be on first base via the error. On second base via the error. I was looking at him at second base, and I still said first.
You gave him good luck on that one.
Mrs. Ma in on the broadcast. Makai on base here for Team SoCal. This is their first true base runner of the game. And he's in scoring position here for Julian Antolin, the left fielder, as the pitcher Hall will step off momentarily. So James Turner coming in the game through 1 inning. He's already given up 5 hits and 5 runs, but only 1 walk. It was Jake Wilson who gave up 6 walks. There were those free bases where they were really able to tack on runs. Again, Northern California here, 12 runs on 7 hits. SoCal have committed 2 errors as well in this game. That pitch swung on, lifted the other way over the first baseman's glove. Makai Ma rounding around third base. He's coming in to score. SoCal finally on the board, and it's thanks to Julian Antolin bringing in Makai Ma. Great piece of hitting there from Julian, seeing that ball in the outer part of the plate, poking it the other way. The wheel of Makai Ma comes in to score, and Violet, you talked about where's that comeback going to come from, and it might have just started.
Hopefully they can keep the momentum going.
Yeah, speaking it into existence. As my girlfriend would say, manifesting that run. Shout out Ariadna Morales. Always telling me to manifest my future. It's a hard thing to do, especially in a game like this. SoCal, they've got 11 runs to make up here. They've got 3 hits on the game so far. Again, Northern California have left 3 runners on as well. This is J.D. Lawless. That pitch finds the inside part of the zone for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1 here. J.D. Lawless, one of the other big names of the Filipino World Series. He's made multiple appearances. He's been here all 3 years that I've done the Filipino World Series. That pitch in the dirt. Great block there from Seriosa, keeping that one in front. Not allowing the runner on first, Antolin, to advance. Now for JD here, Violet, the only thing that he's got to worry about this game is hitting. As a designated hitter, he doesn't need to go out on the field and field ground balls or field pop flies or that kind of stuff. All he's got to worry about is getting on base. He does that right there, a comebacker right back to the pitcher. Royce Hall able to get a glove out to it. He's looking at his wrist and his hand in a little bit of discomfort. You hope he's all right. That's not the first time that Royce Hall has had to kind of duck out of the way of one of these comebackers. He wasn't lucky enough this time to try and snag it. And the NorCal coach and team spending a little bit of time making sure that their guy's all right. Again, Royce Hall has been phenomenal so far in this game. He's only allowed 1 run to come across. It happened this inning, and it was unearned, mind you. Only 4 hits through 4 as well. See, these are the scary parts of the game. We obviously saw that comebacker early on in the game where he was able to kind of get the ball into his glove and throw it over to first base. This time, it kind of ricochets off of him a little bit more. And, you know, these guys are only 60 feet away from home plate. And while that may seem like a great distance, when that ball's coming at you at 80 miles an hour plus, it can be a very scary thing to try and, you know, stay in front of to try and record it out. But for a lot of baseball guys, it really is just it's a muscle memory thing. You know, you see a baseball coming at you. You don't want to get out of the way of it. You kind of want to, you know, do your job and get an out whenever you can. So runners are on first and second. The J.D. Lawless comebacker has a runner in scoring position for Turner. Of the brothers, this is Ronan. Again, we saw his brother James come into pitch last inning. He doesn't have his place in the batting lineup yet, but we could see him later on in this game. The Turner brothers, another household name of the Filipino World Series. They've come up clutch in multiple moments. So many games in the Filipino World Series. Hall's pitch. Outside part of the zone, called a strike. Beautiful place there. Great frame job there by Seriosa as well, just to make sure. It's now a 1-1 count here on Turner. Hall takes a look over at second base, takes another look over there. Through his windup, the pitch. Another beautiful outside strike called. Obviously, we've got a pretty good angle from up here. Violet, and you can kind of see the angle at which these balls are coming in at. It's not always straight down and, straight at the catcher. It's sometimes coming in at an angle. You see those off-speed pitches like that one there.
Mhm.
Looked like a little bit of a changeup, maybe a slider action that didn't quite break enough off the hands of Hall. But those are the parts of the game that really kind of excite me. Seeing the movement of a baseball, to think that in a span of 60 feet, you can have a spherical object move left to right as much as these guys are able to do it.
I don't even know how they do it.
Yeah, no.
That's really interesting.
Turner family standing in anticipation here. That pitch swung on. It's going to split the 5-6 hole. Runners are going to hold. The SoCal parents are a little bit unhappy with the call from their head coach on the third base side, holding up all his runners. But again, in a game where they've only scored one run, playing it safe is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. You want to get more runs instead of them being tagged out on the base paths, as Matthew Chavez will step up to the plate here. He's got a great situation in front of him. Bases loaded, no outs. Here's the pitch, right back up the middle. It's to the middle infield. Shortstop flips it over the second base. The throw to first. Kicks out of the glove of the first baseman. Here comes J.D. Lawless. The hustle there. Gets the second run in on that play. It's now 3 runs this inning for Team SoCal. And that blowout that we were looking at not so long ago, Violet, has just been narrowed down a little bit here in the top of the 4th inning.
I love the energy in the stands. I think it's contributing.
Yeah, Matthew Chavez able to beat out the throw. Even if the out was recorded, the run would have scored, and RJ Estrada, the starting right fielder stepping up to the plate, would have still had an at-bat. But there's now 1 out here in the top half of the 4th inning. Double play is in order for Team NorCal. Hull, a quick look over at first base. He's not too worried about the runner from the stretch. We fouled back by Estrada. It's an 0-1 count. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The environment here really is electric. Obviously, you see the parents in front of us really getting into this game. And, again, it just shows kind of like those passionate Filipino fans. They're all over the world. That's why we're always trying to find them in every corner, get them out to these tournaments so that we can, again, come together as a family here and build on something that really has turned into such a beautiful organization.
Since being in the organization, have you learned a lot about Filipino culture?
Oh, 100%.
Do you like it?
I mean, the Filipino way is very intense. I'll put it at that. And again, obviously, being around the parents of the Philippines baseball group, like you see that firsthand, and like they're not afraid to show it either. Like that's just what comes with them as a person. And I feel like, again, it's just one of those things where you either take it or you leave it kind of thing. And they're like Filipinos are always gonna lay it out there for you. They're not going to be half-hearted. So, again, that's always a mindset that I can appreciate. But intense is definitely the word that I go for as that ball skips away from the catcher, Seriosa. And RJ Estrada is aboard, as it will bring up Joaquin Ramirez. Joaquin Ramirez, his second at-bat of the day. He's 1 for 1 so far in today's game. And again, Violet, this is shaping up to be a pretty momentous half inning for Team SoCal. They've already got 3 runners coming across. It doesn't seem as though Team NorCal has any sort of plans to bring in a new pitcher. There's no one down in their bullpen, down the left field line, as Joaquin Ramirez hits that one foul. Hall takes a look over at second base. Here's his pitch outside, not going to find the zone. Ramirez hailing from Riverside, California. From Martin Luther King High School. And would like to remain in that area of the world. Wants to go to CSUSB or SDDU. Royce Hall gets his pitch. And it comes, swung on and fouled back. So I'm trying to see what the score is of the other game currently going on between Los Angeles and Hawaii. Here we are. They're in the top of the fourth inning as Ramirez dribbles that one to second base. The double play is broken up as the first baseman for Team NorCal can't get a hold of it. Joaquin Ramirez will be sliding into second safely. That will go down as a throwing error on the shortstop. And then he advances on that same error. He does drive in a run. And all of a sudden, Team SoCal have cut this lead down to 8.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely indeed. Finn Quimbao now stepping up to the plate here for SoCal. Royce Hall still out on the mound. NorCal coaches trusting in their guy here to get them out of this inning as that pitch is outside for a ball. So, other game going on, Los Angeles versus Hawaii. Hawaii finds themselves leading the game 6-3 in the top of the fourth inning. Very close matchup there between the two, I'll say, beach representatives. But yeah, Los Angeles coming into this tournament kind of looked like one of those formidable foes, but dropped their first game. And I mean, they dropped their first game to what has been a dominant All-States team. They started this tournament with their foot on the gas, and they've never let go of it, scoring double-digit runs in every single game that they've played and winning by double digits in every single game that they've played.
I'm excited to see how that one ends up.
That pitch high and inside for a ball. 2-2 the count here on Quimbao. But yeah, I'm trying to do the math in my head to see what this sets up for the tournament play tomorrow. So the way that works is the two last place teams in each group. So we've got the two groups, the two last place teams, so the third and fourth place teams in each group. They play each other in consolation games at Pierce College tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Then the top two teams from one group play each other, and the top two teams from another group play each other in the semifinal games at California State Northridge tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then the winners of those games will then go on to play the championship game. So I think it's safe to say that All States, being the only undefeated team in this tournament, have definitely secured their spot. But I think in the mid-inning here, some calculations are needed to be done as that ball is ripped the other way. It'll land in right field. Here comes the runner around second base, Joaquin Ramirez. He comes in to score. It is now a 12-5 ball game. Finn Quimbao has been doing it on both ends of the field here. He's been phenomenal behind the plate for Team SoCal, and now he drives in a run on a base hit single. Now, number 4 here. This is Nolan Hoff's spot hitting, but 4 is Gabriel Bagasao. So Bagasao will be hitting for Nolan Hoff here in the 9 spot, unless they've just added a hitter, but that does look to be Makai Ma in the on-deck circle. Mrs. Ma confirms that that is her son, Makai, in the on-deck circle. Mrs. Makai confirms that this is a pinch hitter for Nolan Hoff. We appreciate that from the parents. That pitch is swung on right back up the middle. No play as the second baseman and the shortstop can't communicate to get that one. The runner from first is going to dive into third. The umpire falls over as well. There's no call because I don't think the umpire knew what happened. He was tumbling and bumbling down the third base line. Jokes aside, let's hope the home plate umpire is okay. Hats off to him to try and get down the line to see whether he was safe or out. And I think the fact that he fell over may have been the reason why he wasn't called out at third. It was a bang-bang play. It did look like the throw beat him at third, as the umpires are going to convene to catch their breath here at a pretty chaotic play there.
You don't see that a lot.
No, you do not. But yeah, I was obviously focused on the play, and then I just see this flash of baby blue in the grass. And I mean, it's obviously scary because you're hoping that nothing serious happened, but the way that he kind of hopped up afterwards makes you think that again it was just a simple trip and fall. Seems to be all right now.
He's back.
As he's jogging his way back to the home plate. Everyone in attendance here giving him a round of applause. Now here's Makai Ma. He's got runners on the corners. He's 1 for 2 on the day so far. Bagasau, his first at bat, he's on with a base hit. As that pitch is going to trickle away from the catcher, Seriosa. But it didn't look as though the runner on third had a good beat on it. The runner from first, Bagasau, will advance. It's Quimbao over at third base. Again, couldn't see that ball trickle out from underneath the catcher. So now 2 runners in scoring position here for Ma. A big opportunity here for Southern California to really tack on these runs. 2 outs here. 1-0 count on Ma. Here's the pitch from Hall. Swung on, lifted high and foul. We'll even the count here, 1-1. Here's that excitement and that anticipation I was talking about. Can feel it in the air now.
So he needs to hit it somewhere on the right side.
He hits it on the left side instead, and deep, might I add. It'll go way into foul territory. Makai Ma swinging for the fences here. But yes, traditionally, you kind of see that big gap between the center and the right fielder.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of playing in their traditional spots. The right fielder playing a little bit shallow. Now the left fielder will probably be playing a little bit back. You can see that there. As Royce Hall comes set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, lifted high in the air. Left fielder running back at the wall. He's not able to track it down. Both runs coming to score. It's a 2 RBI double for Makai Ma. Great piece of hitting there from Makai Ma. Just turns on that one, sends it a country mile into the air. The left fielder for NorCal, Gabriel Mediales, isn't able to see it into his glove. It bounces right beside him. And now Southern California are just one step closer to coming back in this game. Here's Julian Antolin as Makai Ma is going to take off from second base. What a read! Makai Ma showing off the wheels. An exceptional jump there. And now it sets up Julian Antolin for a golden opportunity here to try and cut the lead down even further. make it a 4-run game as that pitch misses high in the zone. 7 runs have come across this inning for Team SoCal.
We're at 2 outs.
2 outs. Runner on third. Here's the pitch from Hall. Swung on and fouled. Anslin able to get a piece of it. And this is, again, the kinds of things to expect. Just because they were down by 12 doesn't mean they're down and out. All of a sudden, SoCal are right back in this game. 5 runs is nothing to a typical Filipino World Series game as that ball is hit high and foul. But the bats here, Violet, are slowly waking up for Team SoCal. Here's the 2-2. Low and outside. The count now full. An important at-bat for both teams here. Royce Hall is able to record the out. He would stop the bleeding here at 7. But if Anslin could get on base, it would enforce potentials at more scoring for Team SoCal. Here's the pitch. Caught the outside corner. What a pitch from Royce Hall to get out of the inning. A little bit of a momentum shift there for Team NorCal. They do give up 7. They still have a 5-run lead as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning.
My name is Glani Kermang from the class of 2029. I'm from Chatsworth Charter High School, and you're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
Welcome back to the 2026 Filipino World Series. This is game 12 of 12 in this year's World Series group pool play. Southern California jumped out in the top of the 4th inning, put up 7 runs to try and cut the deficit down. They've done that successfully, but now the question is, can they keep the bats down for Team NorCal? Turner still on the mound here for Team SoCal. First pitch in there for a strike on the outside part of the zone. Here's the 0-1, swung on, lifted foul. It's now 0-2 quickly here.
So, does the winner of this game play the winner of the LA Hawaii game?
No, so now that you bring that up, I did forget to do that in the mid-inning. I said I was going to do that, but it was such a long inning that I forgot that I said that. So in pool play, everything goes by standings. So every team plays 3 games, i.e., you have 2 groups of 4 as that ball is hit over towards the shortstop, and he can't handle it cleanly. Henry Harrison showing some bias here of the broadcaster's booth, clapping along as Matthew Chavez isn't able to reel that one in. I don't believe that was Ryder Seriosa hitting. That looked to be Mateo Batacan who was hitting. So Ryder Seriosa not responsible for the base hit there. That's Batacan. As this is also not Reggie Fong. So trying to figure out what the NorCal order looks like, because this is now number 25, Mateo Aranza Mendez. So Aranza Mendez essentially pinch hitting for Reggie Fong here as the pickoff attempt over at first base is unsuccessful. The runner on first isn't Seriosa. Seriosa wasn't even the batter as the runner's going to take off, and he's going to be tagged out at second base. He saw the throw, beat him out. That's another beautiful throw there from Finn Quimbao behind the dish. Able to throw out the runner there at second base. That was Matthew Paderna on the base paths. Not able to advance there. And the first out recorded by Finn Quimbao for the 2nd inning in a row. That pitch finds the outside part of the zone. Here comes SoCal with a groove. But yes, going back to your going back to your question, so there are two groups of four, and those four teams, as Aranza Mendez swings and misses at that one, both of those groups have four teams in them, and those four teams play 3 games, i.e. the 3 teams that are in their groups. Then, depending on who the first, second, and third, fourth place teams are, determines where they end up in the knockout stages tomorrow, as that is an amazing play from the second baseman of SoCal. That's Gabriel Bagasau, just entered into the game for Nolan Hoff, is able to climb the ladder on that one and snag the second out of the inning. It retires Aranza Mendez. And with a bit of luck, this should be Dylan Hernandez stepping up to the plate. As that pitch swung on, it's going to go right back to Bagasau. He reads it on a hop. The throw over to first in time. Finn Quimbao and Gabriel Bagasau doing it on their own here for Team SoCal. They are immediately back in the dugout on a 1-2-3 inning, their first of the game. The momentum on their side here as we head to the 5th inning.
My name is Ronan Turner, graduating class of 2027 from Canyon High School. You're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
Back here with this exciting matchup between Team SoCal and Team NorCal here in the 2026 Filipino World Series. Leading things off here for Team SoCal is J.D. Lawless, the designated hitter. A new pitcher comes in for Team NorCal. That's Amado Varay Santos, going to be taken over for Royce Hall. The first pitch finds the inside part of the zone for a strike. Royce Hall finishes his day, 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 runs, only 1 of them earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. For Ray Santos, next pitch, J.D. Lawless smacks on over to the shortstop. The throw to first barely beats him out to record the first out of the inning. Henry Harrison still with the biased claps here in the broadcaster's booth. As this will now bring up Ronan Turner for Team SoCal. So Amado Santos, 2 pitches in, records his first out. Ronan Turner on the day, 1 for 2. First pitch he sees low and inside. It'll actually get by the catcher, Seriosa. So, Violet, you mentioned what would happen when these teams wins. We're going to have a fielding switch here. I love when they do this unannounced. It's my favorite thing in the world. So the second baseman is switching with the third baseman for Team NorCal. So make sure to mark that down on your scorecards. That ball ripped over towards the right side. A bended over catch there from Logan Listener to record the out. So what's happened here is Royce Hall has gone from pitching to starting this inning off at third base. Now he's over at second base. Amado Varay Santos comes in from third base and is now pitching, and Reggie Fong moves from second base to third base. The reason why, no idea, as that pitch is swung on and missed. This is Matthew Chavez stepping up to the plate here. 0 for 2 on the day so far. He had a fielder's choice RBI and then did also come in to score. So he has done some damage against this NorCal team as that pitch finds the inside part of the zone for a strike. And Amado Varay Santos is 1 pitch away from a 1-2-3 inning. He's already on the mound, poised, ready to go, not moving an inch. Some mind games here between pitcher and hitter. Let's see who wins it. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Chavez staying alive here. So, yeah, going to the groups here. Southern California, they are obviously in this game right now. They find themselves down by 5, but they're leading the Sadi Manak group. So a win here would definitely secure them a spot in the playoffs. But because they're losing, it makes it very interesting. It would be a 3-way tie in this group. as the 0-2 pitch finds the lower part of the zone, strike 3.
Wow.
Chavez can't believe it as he walks back to the dugout. Has some words for the home plate umpire, but it'll be NorCal to go 1-2-3 in the top half of the 5th inning. It's a 12-7 ball game. Momentum on SoCal's side as Kid Cudi closes us out.
My name is JD Lawless, class of 2027 catcher from Saugus High School in Southern California, and I'm playing on Team PBG SoCal. You're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
12-7 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. James Turner's day is done for Team SoCal. It'll be Nolan Hoff now coming into relief. James Turner, 2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. 1 walk to close out his line. It's the first pitch from Hoff. Finds the outer part of the zone. Strike 1. NorCal back up to hit here. They suffered their first inning without a run in the bottom of the 4th. Trying to not replicate that here as Daniel Romero, the one hitter for NorCal, is going to try and lead things off. So we spent a couple innings talking about this, Violet, but I swear I'll get it out now. So Southern Monarch Group is made up of SoCal, Canada, NorCal, and Mid-Atlantic. As that ball is hit high in the air, shallow right field, second baseman giving chase. It'll be the right fielder to call him off and kind of pluck that one out of the sky as Sanab run into his second baseman. A big heads-up play there from Bagasao, but it was the right fielder Estrada who comes down with the putout. And now it's Alex Hikale coming up to bat. The other group is Bakunawa, made up of all states, Hawaii, Los Angeles, and Midwest. Now, the thing that we know for sure is that all states is certainly advancing as the 1 seed for the Bakunawa group. Hawaii and Los Angeles are currently going head-to-head. Between Hawaii and Los Angeles, whoever wins this game will take the second place spot in that group. And as it stands right now, it would be Hawaii to finish second as they lead 6-3 in the top of the 6th inning over Los Angeles. Head coach Jackson Briscoe probably not happy with his team right now as that off-speed pitch finds the inside part of the zone on Hikale for a strike. 1-1 the count. So in the Bakunawa group, it's very simple. All states has the 1 seed locked up. It's just this game between Hawaii and Los Angeles that determines who all states will play in the semifinal game tomorrow. Now in the Sarimanok group, Southern California lead the group. They are 2-0. Obviously now they are down by 5 runs. So let's say that this result does hold. Canada is 2-1. Northern California is 1-1 now, so they would move to 2-1. Mm-hmm. So you've got 3 2-1 teams in this group. Now, how we determine the tiebreaker winner is completely up to the organization director, Bill Pickett. So it would be nice to get his thoughts on the matter because it's the 3-way tiebreaker doesn't work in the situation of, okay, well, Northern California beat Canada. Canada beat Northern California. Northern California is currently beating Southern California, but Southern California beat Canada. So all 3 of these teams have beat one another. So then you ask yourself, do you go to runs scored? Do you go to runs against? It's all that kind of stuff. So as of right now, the way that this game is looking right now, it's very up in the air because we'll have 3 2-1 teams. But if NorCal were to lose this game and SoCal comes back, they would finish undefeated. They would finish first in the group. Canada would go on as the 2nd seed being 2-1. Northern California would finish 3rd at 1-2. So it would look identical to the Bakunawa group. It's just the fact that Northern California have a really good sizable lead here to work with that it really throws a wrench into things here, Violet.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 innings of work that I did there in order to figure out how it's all going to work has finally come to fruition as the throw down to second base in time. Finn Quimbao cannot be stopped behind home plate. It is just throwdown after throwdown after throwdown from Mr. Quimbao. That's his third one of the day. That's just been on an absolute dime. His second put out of the game, as that pitch misses high in the zone for a ball. This is Royce Hall, the starting pitcher. He's already been taken out of his duties from pitching as Vare Santos came in. So now, Violet, this begs the question. We've seen Royce Hall, he's gone on base already today 3 times. He's had a double, and he's been hit by the pitch twice. So this now brings up the question, okay, well, if he gets on base, do you keep him on base because now he's not pitching? Or do you still take him off and just go with what's been working for you? Because it could be more of a mojo thing than anything else. Obviously, Royce Hall hasn't been out on the base path so far today, so who's to say that he won't be caught sleeping in between first and second base, possibly on a pickoff attempt. That pitch way inside, and it'll be the third free base issue to Royce Hall today. He earned it this time.
It looks like he's going to be running.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to be running. I don't see substitution. I mean, he does have to hit the bag regardless. We'll see if someone comes out to sub him out. No, he's going to be running. A defense. Antolin in right. Okay, RJ Estrada's in left and Antolin is in right. Thank you so much to the SoCal parents doing a job. So the left and right fielders switch places. And the middle infielders have also switched places as well. I feel like we're at the Mad Hatter's table having a cup of tea. Runner's going to take off from first base. He stops halfway through, and he's going to find himself in a pickle. I mean, I couldn't have brought it up at a more perfect time. The first opportunity that Royce Hall gets on the base path, and he's held up between first and second. He took off from first base, stopped himself halfway in between, and gets thrown out in a pickle.
You called that one.
Call it the broadcaster's curse or call it broadcaster's intuition. It's a 12-7 ball game as we'll head into the top of the 6th inning.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Bagasar, graduating class of 2028, where my primary position is middle infield. A couple things about me. My dream university to play baseball at is TCU. My family heritage mainly is from Quezon City and Ilocos. My favorite Filipino food is my mom's sinigang, and my favorite Filipino celebrity is Manny Pacquiao. Lastly, I'm picking the Dodgers to win the World Series this year. I'm Gabe, and you're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series. Mabuhay.
We're in the penultimate inning between this exciting matchup between Team NorCal and Team SoCal. Both teams battling it out for a playoff spot in tomorrow's knockout stages. Amado Vare Santos still on the bump for Team NorCal as the first pitch here in the top of the 6th to RJ Estrada is high and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Comes set through the windup, the pitch. Low for a ball. Now 2-0 the count.
Battle is a good way to describe this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're matching each other's energy.
Yeah, again, to start off the game, again, Northern California, 3 in the first, 4 in the second, and 5 in the third. Running away with it as Estrada hits that ball to the shortstop. An easy play for him to make, and the throw over is in time. First out recorded here for Team NorCal as Joaquin Ramirez will step into the box. But yeah, it looked as though Northern California had found something in their stride there. Inning for inning, scoring a run. And then it was Southern California to come in the top of the 4th and just completely take the wind out of their sails, scoring 7. All 7 of their runs coming that inning, mind you, on 8 hits. But since then, they didn't put anything up in the 5th inning. Same thing with Northern California, so it's been quiet for the last 3 half innings. Joaquin Ramirez looking to change that with one swing of the bat. That pitch swung on, lifted high towards the left fielder, coming in to make the catch and record the second out of the inning. So quickly 2 down here in the top of the 6th. As again, this is Southern California's second to last opportunity at an at-bat here. It'll bring up Finn Quimbao. He's had himself a game. Not only is he 1 for 2 on the day so far with an RBI and a run scored, but man, oh man, behind the dish, he's just been laser focused, throwing guys out from all over the field. That pitch swung on towards the left side. It'll stay in foul territory. So he starts. That foul ball evens the count 1-1. Here's the pitch from Santos. Finds that outside part of the zone. 1-2 count here on Quimbao. Viray Santos wants to waste no time getting his team back into the dugout. Comes set through his windup. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Oh, and it almost.
Or did it?
Almost got Quimbao in the head and instead hits him in the arm gracefully. I almost want to say that maybe didn't hit him, and because the home plate umpire was asking if it hit him, he kind of went, oh yeah, like, yeah, it hit me blue. Yeah, I want my free base by all means. I mean, Southern California need it more than anyone here. So again, we've been talking about the heads up plays from Finn Quimbao. There's another one right there, manipulating home plate umpires. The NorCal coach more than likely having a conversation about that hit by pitch, certainly. He definitely didn't think that was the case. Again, Quimbao kind of came away from it, a little shell-shocked, but not really seeming like he got hit. Anyways, it'll be Bagasao coming in. First pitch low for a ball. But 2 outs recorded here for NorCal. They got them very quickly off the bats of Estrada and Ramirez. Ray Santos with a pickoff attempt. At first, some parents claiming that was a balk, but very much a legal move there at first base, looking over. Or excuse me, a legal move at the pitcher's mound. Obviously, your brother was a pitcher. Did you ever see him balk?
I think he did a few times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, the balk is, I mean, for me personally, and I obviously played baseball for a long time, it's still something that I don't truly understand.
Yeah, it just is called sometimes.
Yeah, like
but
sometimes I can catch it because it is obvious, but sometimes I'm kind of looking around going, what just happened kind of thing.
Mhm.
That's probably the only element of the game that I could probably touch up my skills on. Here's the 1-0 from Viray Santos. That's fouled back. It'll even up the count at 1-1.
Were you a pitcher as well?
I pitched a little bit. I mean, everyone has their turn at pitching, but I pitched a lot in high school. Wasn't the smartest thing because I never took care of my arm, and that ultimately led to my demise in the sport of baseball. So I primarily turned to being an infielder, and specifically the kind of infielder that doesn't have to worry about throwing the ball too much.
Okay. Like first base?
Yep, exactly. See, you got it.
And you're like really tall too.
It kind of makes sense. That off-speed pitch, it looked like it found the zone, but the quick jump up from the catcher for NorCal didn't really allow the home plate umpire to kind of see where that ball was spotted. Viray Santos, again, spending a lot of time paying attention to that runner on first. I say that as he throws over to first. Gets his pitch, comes set. From the stretch here. Takes his time. Runner's going to take off from first base. The throw over to second is in time.
Oh my God.
A great play there from the catcher, Ryder Seriosa, taking notes from Finn Quimbao's game, able to throw the runner out at second base. He's getting an earful from the home plate umpire for looking down the dugout of Team SoCal. But we will see you in the bottom of the 6th inning where Northern California are looking to add on to this 5-run lead.
My name is James Turner, graduating class of 2027 from Canyon High School. You're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
Potentially the last at-bats here for Team NorCal. If they can potentially add some more runs on the boards, it's not necessary for them. They find themselves up by 5 against Team SoCal as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning here. Off-speed pitch from Hoff in there for a strike. It'll make the count 0-1. Another off-speed pitch outside for a ball. So this is Nicodemus Abad stepping up to the plate here. That pitch swung on and foul. So I've just received confirmation from Bill Pickett's the director. The tiebreaker for the pools, Violet, is runs allowed. So the lower, the better. Now, the way it stands as of right now, Southern California have given up 6 runs. Add the 12 runs that they've given up here, and that gives you a grand total of 18. Now, Northern California have given up 12 runs, as Abad is going to strike out there. Beautiful pitch there from Hoff. And now it'll bring up Amado Varay Santos, who's coming to pitch for Team NorCal. First pitch to Santos, swung on, lifted high, but foul. So going back to the standings here, Southern California have given up 12 runs. Added to the 6, that's 18 runs allowed. Northern California have given up 12 runs, added to the 8, and it would be 20. So that's the same amount of runs that Canada have given up. So then at that point, I think you go to the natural tiebreaker, and even if Northern California were to win this game, it wouldn't be enough because they've given up too many runs. They would need to score more runs against Southern California to knock them further down. They would need to score 4 more runs against SoCal here in order to advance to the playoffs.
I see.
So simply put, 12 is not enough for Team NorCal. They need to score more, and they need the 4 runs now.
And they also, NorCal cannot allow more runs.
Correct.
Okay. That
Correct.
makes sense.
Yes. So again, Southern California, as it stands now, have allowed 18 runs, whereas Northern California have allowed 20 runs. So SoCal are currently beating them on the tiebreaker, given that SoCal go on to lose this game. But if Northern California were to score those 3 runs, they would then be beating Southern California on the tiebreaker there. They automatically lose to Canada on the tiebreaker because they've got the same runs allowed, as that ball is hit deep to left field. The left fielder doesn't have a beat on it. Varay Santos is rounding around first base, digs for second, and he has the stand-up double.
Maybe he heard you. Maybe he was like, I need this run right now.
Yeah, NorCal need it. Again, while they are winning the game here, it wouldn't be enough with the 12 runs that they scored so far in this game, and a substitute runner is coming on. We've seen this runner come on before. It's Matthew Paderna. He's been acting as the honorary Prince runner for this NorCal team, as it'll be Logan Listener stepping up to the plate here. First pitch swung on the other way as well. It's going to go down the line. Will it be fair? No, it's foul. Mrs. Mom making sure they know it's a foul ball. She wants the runners to stop. So Paderna will retreat back to second base. Listener will come back to the batter's box. So Southern California, they've given up 12, 18 runs allowed. Northern California, they've given up 12, and they've given up 7 in this game so far. So it's actually a 19 runs allowed compared to Southern California's 18 runs allowed. So they are literally beating them by a singular run allowed on the tiebreak. Can you believe this, Violet?
That is crazy.
Like, talk about cutting it to the wire here.
It just makes this game all the more exciting.
Absolutely. But the team to really beat, from what I've seen so far this tournament, is All States. No question about it. I mean, you look at what they've done. They obviously go perfect 3-0 undefeated. They scored 53 runs in this tournament, 53 runs in 3 games, and only gave up 11. That's a run differential of plus 42 in 3 games.
And how did this All States team happen? Is it like the best player from multiple states?
So all states, I feel like the big draw is that ball is drilled to center field. The center fielder able to reel it in the throw a little bit offline, but it does make its way to home plate. So the runner from second will be held up at third, as Logan Listener has himself his first base hit of the day. But yeah, so 4-team All-States, as you're wondering. A lot of them kind of come from the Northwest region. There are a lot of players from Washington State that play for Team All-State. So that's kind of how I like branding them. But they've just gone as All-States for so long that, we just keep it easy for everyone to understand.
I see.
But they're players from all over. So if you wanted to take a quick peek here, let's see. Team All-States. So we've got Monroe, New Jersey, Honolulu, Hawaii, Ventura, California, Gilroy, California, Chula Vista, California. That ball's going to get by Quimbao. He has no idea where it's gone. Listener is rounding second, digging for third. And the wild pitch from Hoff. He takes full responsibility for it, will score a run. And now the runs allowed tiebreaker is tied. So the tiebreaker is tied between these two teams. That's the 13th run given up by Southern California. They've got 19. Northern California have given up 7 runs in this game. They've already allowed 12, so that's 19 for both teams. The tiebreaker solely belongs to whoever wins this game. And unfortunately, Canada, who played phenomenally today, scored 32 runs. It might not even be enough if the standings hold as they are right now. NorCal and SoCal can do each other a favor, not score any more runs this game, and they would both advance. If even one run were to score, that team that gets scored on would come out of the semifinals position, and Canada would fill in that semifinals position as it stands now. Talk about a dramatic finish. A runner is 90 feet away from scoring for Team SoCal. Here's the pitch. Off speed down the foul line and landing foul. So now this game just got very intense. The other game going on right now is Los Angeles taking on Hawaii. Hawaii with a commanding lead in the top half of the 7th inning. All they need to do is record 3 outs to finish Los Angeles off, as that pitch is called a ball. It's an 8-3 game there for Team Hawaii. Again, that is a crucial game. Essentially, the winner of that game going on to face all states in the semifinal game of the Bakunawa group, as that pitch fouled off, hitting that camera yet again for the second time today.
Poor camera. But yeah, like you were saying, the last semifinal game tomorrow just goes right into the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, hopefully
that ball is
team's
ripped
okay.
over towards the right side. The throw at the plate is not in time. Could it be?
Oh
SoCal may have just been eliminated from the Filipino World Series without runs scored. You wouldn't think it, because it just makes it a 7-run ball game. But because of the runs allowed statistic, as Paderna is going to make his way over to first base as the base runner. Again, I'll need to do some math here as Mateo Batacan gets on the fielder's choice. And it brings up, I believe this is Reggie Fong coming back into the game here for Mateo Aranza Mendez. Here's the pitch, swung on, lifted high in the air. Shallow left field. The shortstop's got it. That's Bagasao reeling that one in. And there are 2 down here, as this is Lucius Listener coming into the game. That pitch going to be a ball to Listener. Nolan Hoff trying to get his team back in the dugout. That pitch swung on. It'll go off the leg of Listener. That one definitely looked like it hurt Violet. Last thing you want to be doing is fouling those pitches off your shins.
Yeah.
It's not a pleasurable feeling. Obviously, you played softball. So
Yeah.
to say that you haven't experienced something like that, as that ball is lifted foul. That pitch finds the outside part of the zone, strike three. Nolan Hoff able to do the job for Team SoCal, get his team back into the dugout, but there's still work to be done. We'll spend the mid-inning figuring out what this all means for tournament play, as we'll return in the top of the seventh.
My name is Joaquin Ramirez, graduating class of 2026 from Martin Luther King High School, and you're watching the 2026 Filipino World Series.
We've got an exciting end coming up for you here, folks, between Team SoCal and Team NorCal. As it stands right now, it is a 14-7 ball game. The tiebreaker in the Filipino World Series as that ball is swung on towards the middle of the infield, and it's going to pop up on the shortstop. You hope he's okay, as it took an awkward hop. Time is called. He gets up on his own accord. Very quiet here in the bleachers, as again, that definitely took a weird hop. It kind of looked like it may have just barely missed his head region and maybe just kind of bounced off his shoulder area. He does look to be okay. And it will go down as a base hit single there for Bagasao. Bagasao is now 2 for 2 on the day. He's already come across the score. And here comes Makai Ma. Makai Ma had that fantastic hit his last time up. Extra bases, was able to score 2 on a double. That pitch way outside from the pitcher, Viray Santos. It'll be 1-0. So again, the way that it stands right now, Southern California, their run allowed statistic is 20. Northern California's run allowed statistic is 19. But obviously, you go head-to-head first, and then you go to what the tiebreaker is.
Mm-hmm.
So head-to-head, obviously, Northern California would beat SoCal here. But again, because Canada scored those 32 runs, it throws a wrench into everything. So now the way that it stands is that SoCal, in order to absolutely confirm their spot in the playoffs, is to score 2 runs this inning. They don't need to win the game. They just need to score 2 runs. So we'll call it as Makai Ma is essentially the walk-off runner here, the go-ahead run, if you will, just so that they can advance. As that pitch is swung on, lifted high and back towards the bleachers here at College of the Canyons. It'll be a 2-1 count here on Ma. Again, it's weird because it'd be so much easier if the run allowed was different for all the teams. But because Canada has given up 20, now Southern California has given up 20, and Northern California have given up 19, they've all lost to one another if the result holds here, as the pickoff attempt from Viray Santos will be unsuccessful. Again, it just makes it very confusing.
Yeah.
It's hard to do this mathematical work in between innings. I'll say that much. Here's the pitch from Santos, swung on the left side of the infield. He'll catch it in foul territory, And the runner Bagasau will retreat back to first. But yeah, 42 runs scored from Team Canada. 32 of them from today's game alone. So they had 10 going into it, and it's essentially Canada that's making it difficult for Southern California to advance cleanly here, because Northern California would have the tiebreaker over them. They've got the same run allowed as Team Canada at this stage in the game, because they've given up 14 this game. They had 6 coming in for a grand total of 20.
And also, if they did the mercy rule, it would all be different too.
It would. That is a great point, Violet. You're absolutely right. If the mercy rule was in effect during that Canada Mid-Atlantic game, it would be completely different, because Mid-Atlantic were able to get a run come across. So essentially a free run as Makai Moss strikes out. There's now 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Again, it would be spectacular to see Southern California to put up another 7 spot here in the top of the 7th, like they did back in the 4th. But again, the way that the math is working right now, I believe they only need 2 runs, as that pitch finds the inside part of the zone for a strike. This is Julian Antolin up at the dish here for Team SoCal. Farai Santos comes set, pickoff attempt, unsuccessful. Calls him safe. So I did tell you that there was going to be some heavy action here. And again, even though it is a 7-run game, it's a lot closer than it looks. Here's Santos' pitch. Antolin gets out of the way of that one. You would have thought that it's smarter to wear it, get some base runners on for Team SoCal. But the intuition tells him to get out of the way of that one. It'll be a 1-1 count here. Santos looking in, takes a look over at first base, another one there. Comes set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, third base side, foul. It'll be a 1-2 count here. Santos trying to reel it in here for NorCal. Here's the pitch. Oh, and it's going to hit Antolin. So he was able to get out of the way of that other ball inside. He's not able to get out of the way of that one as he tucks his jersey and running down the first base side. Love that baseball etiquette from Antolin. It'll bring up J.D. Lawless, but not before the coach for Team NorCal is going to step out onto the mound and have a word with his infield pitcher and catcher. So yeah, I'm waiting on the confirmation, because obviously now that our tiebreaker is tied, we need to figure out if we then go to runs scored, how it is usually played, or if we go to the head-to-head, because the head-to-head would make it very easy for us. SoCal beat Canada, so they would advance over Canada with the same runs allowed. The good thing is that when we do find out, it can't get any worse for Team SoCal, because if they don't score the 7 runs here, then NorCal don't come up to bat, and that's that.
Yeah.
So a runner in scoring position here for J.D. Lawless. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul down the left side.
That's a popular spot.
Yeah, we've seen a few foul balls in the last few pitches go down that third base line. J.D. Lawless is 1 for 3 on the day so far. He's come around 1 time. He's got a single, and he was hit by a pitch. So a very jam-packed day for Lawless. Or excuse me, he's one for 3 with that single and 2 groundouts. I was actually looking at the statistics for Antolin there. Here's the pitch, low and outside. Great dig there from Seriosa, the catcher. Leaving up the count at 1-1. So as I understand it now, again, SoCal just need the 2 runs to get the confirmed run advantage over Canada. That pitch finding the outside part of the zone for a ball. But the thing is that if SoCal, in my mind, if SoCal scores 2 runs, it would advance Canada. NorCal's run allowed stat will be at 21, and NorCal would be knocked out of the tournament, even though they won this game in dominant fashion. That ball lifted high in the air. Second baseman calling for it for NorCal. He camps under it and makes the grab. NorCal 1 out away here from potentially advancing to the semifinals of the Filipino World Series. Here is a pinch hitter for Team SoCal. I believe this is Jake Wilson. I know my guys. Jake Wilson coming in to try to be the hero for Team SoCal.
2 people on base.
Exactly. All he needs to do is score these 2 runners, and SoCal would advance without a doubt. Here's the pitch, swung on, and fouled. Big hat there from Wilson. You can see that he's keen to go here, Violet. Trying to get on base ASAP. Ray Santos still out on the mound. Trying to finish these 3 innings of work here. That pitch finds the inside part of the zone for a strike. Henry Harrison loves it up here in the booth. Jake Wilson is trying to get an answer from the home plate umpire as to why that was a strike. He didn't agree with that one. 0-2 count here. Tournament implications on the line for both teams. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled. So Jake Wilson able to straighten it out, maybe a little bit too much there, as he's a little early on that one, was late on the last foul ball. And we'll do it again at 0-2. Runner in scoring position for him. The most important runner for SoCal at first. If they could have him come in to score, it would really make the difference in the tiebreaker race. If 3+ teams are tied, here's the official ruling, as there's a mound visit. If 3+ teams are tied, head-to-head is thrown out unless one team has beaten all the other tied teams, which isn't the case. Then you go to runs allowed, and then you go to run differential, which is capped at 8 per game. So Canada's 32 runs scored and 28 run win is cut down to 8. I mean, what a crazy rule.
That is interesting.
But all 7 runs would count here between NorCal and SoCal. That pitch, he checks his swing down the first base line. First baseman fields it cleanly, and NorCal get the win.
That was a good game.
Absolutely, Violet. NorCal taking down the only undefeated team left in their group. Henry Harrison, the NorCal representative, celebrating behind me, as NorCal are able to bring SoCal down to 2-1 in the group standings. NorCal able to defeat SoCal for the second time in 2 years. They did it in the championship game last year. They do it here in group play. And honestly, Violet, I need to step aside here and figure out what the math is, see what the standings look like, so that we know who's advanced. In my eyes, the way that I see it is that because head-to-head is thrown out the window, so we go to runs allowed. Both Canada and Southern California allowed 20 runs, but Northern California only allowed 19. So Northern California would be the #1 team in the Sarah Minot group, but I don't know who wins the tiebreaker between SoCal and Canada, because if they're saying that it's only capped off at 8, then it doesn't matter. But the head-to-head is thrown out the window because it's 3+ teams. So we will step aside for right now. We'll keep the recording going as we get these statistics into the official website. Hold on to your hats as we decipher who advances to the tournament play of the 2026 Filipino World Series.
Hi, my name is Alex Acali, graduating class of 2026. I'm from Cal State San Marcos, and you're watching the Filipino 2026 World Series.
Okay, final scores have been recorded in the other game between Los Angeles and Hawaii. Oh my goodness, folks. Hang around. It hasn't been decided yet. I've got Bill Pickett's behind me. Bill Pickett's, I'm here to confirm this with you. So, when looking at the scores between Southern California and Canada, because Northern California automatically advance because their runs allowed is 19. Canada and Southern California both gave up 20 runs this tournament. So we go to the run differentials, which you say are capped at 8. So Southern California had that huge first game against Mid-Atlantic, so they just secured the 8 runs there. Then they had another they had that 8-2 win, so that would be 14. They lost by 7 today, so that brings them down to 7. Canada won their first game by 1. They had the huge game today, which gives them the 8 runs. That's 9, but then they lost by 6 to SoCal. So Canada's out on the run differential. Southern California advanced by 4 runs on run differential. But the thing is that as much as I would love to give everyone at home a final playoff look, Hawaii and Los Angeles is currently going down to the wire here. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. Los Angeles has scored 3 runs this inning. But the way that it's looking in the Saramanak group, it's Northern California wins the group and Southern California advances. So it'll be SoCal and NorCal rematch tomorrow to play at a spot in the championship game at CSUN. So NorCal and SoCal will take on each other again tomorrow at CSUN. I'm not sure. I would need to double check that. That's a good comment, because if that's the case, then you would play all states. NorCal would play all states. Or no, SoCal would play all states. Yes. SoCal would play all states. But again, this Hawaii-Los Angeles game is not over. Micah Doe is hitting for Team Los Angeles. They're down by 2 runs, but the bases are loaded. Kate Azuno's on first. Jalo Venus is on second. And AJ Gutierrez is on third. So let's just check here. I want to make absolutely sure. Yes, you're right. The first place team of one group plays the second place team of the other group. That's a good comm there from the SoCal parents here at College of the Canyons. So as it stands right now, Team SoCal will play Team All States no matter what. That matchup is set in stone. All States advance. Southern California advance on the run differential. Shout out to Canada. It didn't matter that they scored 32 runs today because they were only taking the 8. But the thing is that who NorCal are playing depends on who wins this Los Angeles-Hawaii game. And it was over a few seconds ago, but all of a sudden, Los Angeles are crawling their way back into this game. There's a 1-2 count on Micah Doe. I'm literally watching the live scorecast of this game to see what happens. Again, to just give the official playoff look for tomorrow. But Violet, what a game we had here between Team NorCal and Team SoCal. Your first game on the mic. How are we feeling? What are your thoughts after the game?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling recharged. The first game of today, I was a little drained after.
Yeah, it's been an exciting tournament here in the 2026 Filipino World Series. And, I mean, again, it's being capped off by 2 exceptional games. NorCal able to get the win 14-7. And as we mentioned before, Los Angeles taking on Hawaii at the moment. The closing lines here, Amado Varese Santos closed out that game through 3 innings, only gave up 1 hit. Came in for Royce Hall after giving up 7. Only 1 of them was earned. But Varese Santos finishes with 2 strikeouts on the board. For Team SoCal, Nolan Hoff finishes with 2 innings pitched. So the 3 pitchers all going 2 innings. Nolan Hoff, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He also gave up 2 walks and 2 strikeouts to close out the game as Northern California in the repeat championship game from last year goes on to win it 14-7 dominant fashion. But again, we are standing by this Hawaii-Los Angeles game, nothing being updated on my end, which makes me think that a crazy play has happened or something. I'm just itching to see what went down. Or they have recorded the last out and they're just waiting to export that last out. So we will see what that all looks like. The standings have now been updated on the Philippines-baseball.org website. Now, the way it looks is Canada, yes, is on top of the group, but that's only because they scored 42 runs. The only ones that count are the 8 between each game and all that kind of stuff. So it's Northern California that take the group. And I mean, this is brutal for any Canadians at home who are looking at the standings on the website. You're going, yes, we've won the group. But in reality, you've actually come in third, just missed the mark by only 4 runs. And I mean, the thing is that they couldn't have done anything more in this game. And essentially, if we are going by that +8 run differential rule, then coming into this game, they wouldn't have been able to do anything to begin with because their runs allowed were too much to begin with. But yeah, I mean, Violet, look at this. 20 runs allowed, 19 runs allowed, and 20 runs allowed. You just can't make this stuff out. But again, the 19 runs here, again, for Team NorCal, again, they immediately advance because they have the fewest runs allowed. But again, the tiebreaker between SoCal and Canada goes to SoCal because when you're playing into effect the rule that you can only have a max of 8 run differential in a single game, they only had a they had a +7 run differential, whereas Canada only had 3. But again, we are standing by. Nothing has changed on this Hawaii-Los Angeles game, might I add. I'm trying to get out of here. But again, like, we can't really go anywhere until this game ends because, again, it'd be nice to know what the playoff picture looks like to see if SoCal will be playing either Los Angeles or Hawaii. And I mean, talk about a matchup. SoCal versus Los Angeles. My, oh my. Will that be explosive at CSUN tomorrow afternoon? But again, even if Hawaii were to advance, that'll also be a very good matchup. Hawaii and SoCal have faced off against each other so many times in the past.
And SoCal and Los Angeles have not, because this is the first year, right? That they like branched off in that way.
So what would happen is that obviously the 3 teams, you would have 1 in one group and then 2 in the other. And what would naturally happen is you would have some of the SoCal teams facing off against each other in pool play, but it would always be a SoCal team against a SoCal team in the championship until last year when NorCal came in and they upset the party and became the first team that wasn't from Southern California to win the Filipino World Series. And the way that this is setting up, if Los Angeles are in fact eliminated by Hawaii, it would only allow the one SoCal team to try and win it all this year. And I mean, they're playing the best team in the tournament, all states, who have just destroyed every team that they've played. They take all 8 runs from all of their games on the run differential for a run differential of 24, which is nuts.
Yeah.
But again, we're still standing by. I'm not sure what's going on. I might need to step aside again and have a call over to to Will to see what's going on. We'll step aside one more time. I'm going to. Oh no, the final score has come in. Hawaii takes down SoCal 8-6. So Team SoCal will take on Hawaii in not the consolation game, in the semifinals game tomorrow. And then NorCal will take on Team All-States. No, sorry, NorCal will take on Team Hawaii in their semifinal game tomorrow, and SoCal will take on Team All-States. Wow, what a group stage we've had here in the 2026 World Series. We finally got there in the end. A phenomenal game here between Team Team Northern California, Team Southern California. Los Angeles and Hawaii wraps up at 8-6. Hawaii get the win. They advance to 2-1 and finish second in the group. Again, they'll be taking on Northern California tomorrow in the semifinal game at CSUN. But that's going to do it for us here at College of the Canyons. We want to thank all the coaches and all the facilities here at College of the Canyons for allowing us to use their field throughout the week. It's been a pleasure broadcasting our games here. Violet Gallegos, any final remarks before we close it out here as the sun sets on a beautiful Friday here in Valencia, California?
I think hopefully we can just keep this energy for the games tomorrow. It was very exciting today, and I look forward to who's going to be in the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you're watching this game on the Saturday, feel free to head on over to our website, philippines-baseball.org. You'll be able to see the live stream right there for you of the semifinals and championship games. And if you're not already looking at those live casts, ScoreCasts, you can find those on the website as well. We've got everything very fine-tuned and professional. But that is going to do it for us here at College of the Canyons. Violet Gallegos, Will Lewin signing off, Mabuhay, and we will see you guys in the next one.